Welcome back to the Prison Yard TV, where we keep it authentic and real from a Northern Crips perspective. I see these other channels, and I listen to their prison war stories, and I'm not going to say any names, but some of them are real. A lot of them are not authentic. Um, it seems like every faction tries to make themselves look better than the next faction. Here at Prison Yard TV, we keep it real and authentic. If you haven't already hit that subscribe button, go ahead and hit it now. Um, if you want to be notified about when my next video is, hit that like and that bell. So I left off. We was in line going in after the Northern riot. It was probably maybe a week later they let us off lockdown. I want to keep it. I want you guys to picture. We just had a riot with the Northerners, and they didn't keep us on lockdown a long time, probably because administration thought, the Blacks and Northerners been allies for so long. They knew by locking us down, it was going to add more tension. People were going to be in their cells, plotting. So they didn't keep us on lockdown that long. And of course, we had dialogue with the Northerners. And come to find out, the reason why the Northerners did what they did is because a black guy from Oakland had ultimately killed a Northerner on the street over some dope. The Northerner fronted him some dope. I don't know how much it was. It's probably a lot. Black dude took off, ran, didn't pay him. The Northerner seen him in traffic. The black dude shot, killed the Northerner. Well, the Northerner that was 2 doors down from me in 214, and when I said wasn't like a regular Northerner, couldn't sit still, that was his brother that got killed. So the guy that killed his brother just got there, and he got a life sentence. And of course, the Northerner that his brother got killed, he tried to kill the black guy. He cut him from here to here. The black dude didn't end up dying, but I heard he lost his voice. He couldn't talk no more from the last I heard about it. And that was the reason why this happened. It was a personal beef, but because it was 2 different races, everyone got involved, and that's just how it is in prison. If a white dude and a black dude have a personal issue over a suit, an area, anything, a cigarette, it's not going to be a personal issue between that black dude and that white dude, because we have policies where we can't get fades. We can't, like juvenile hall, you get a fade. Like why you get a fade with anybody. In prison, there's set rules set, and it's for the better of everybody. Why these rules are set, and they're set in stone. I can't fight a South Sider head up if I got a problem with it. I can't fight a white boy head up. I can fight a Blood. I can fight a Crip. I can fight a Coombe Cat head up, because they're the same color is what gang I claim. So I could have phase like that, but when it comes to different, it's really complicated when it comes to prison politics. So let me get back to what happened on the yard with my homie and the guy that he fought on the yard. We're all lined up going back, and I want you guys to picture this: 800 to 1,000 men lined up, and we're not in the line. We're all just scattered, and we're getting ready to go back in. And while we're lined up, because my homeboy got the best of the dude and they didn't get caught. Excuse me, my mouth is so dry right now. Believe it or not, this is flavored water and it's delicious. So we're lined up, and the cat from Oak Park, his big homie got killed by my homie that's there. He wasn't satisfied with the outcome. And anytime that I'm just gonna say this, he went about it wrong. He wasn't young, he'd been around a while, but what he should have did, what we would have did if he killed one of our homies, we would have sent somebody out of him, 2 people with weaponry to stab him. He made a mistake by sending dude over there for a head up fade. My homie got the best of him. That was it. He wasn't satisfied with that. So when we're lined up, me and my homie, 2 other dudes, Northern Crips from Stockton, we're standing there and we're talking, and I'm facing towards the Oak Park dudes. They're at the back of the line. We're in the middle of the line. There's a whole bunch of, at least 100 people in front of us. These lines are long and they're all, people all scattered out. So somehow this guy got a knife, little knife, 3 inch. It was, and it wasn't even manufactured that good. They probably put it together real fast on the yard. It was a piece of plastic, I believe, with a bullshit ass handle. But as I'm talking to my homie, I see the guy with dreads that he fought with a jacket on. It's hot. With the jacket on, walking real fast towards us. So I grab my homie's arm and turn around. I'm like, watch out. So I square up in front of my homie with the cat, and he's like, no, dog, this ain't for you. So my homie squares up, and as he goes to poke my homie, I grab his sleeve. When I grab his sleeve to his jacket, he immediately tries to spin and come up out of his jacket, and he's trying to run back to them. Well, his knife drops, his fierro drops, and I pick it up with my other hand. So I'm holding his jacket, I'm reaching down, grabbing this thing. My homie bombs on him in the back of the head. One of the Stockton Crips, they try to grab him. So immediately, I'm thinking a riot's going to break out, Bloods and Crips. It doesn't. Nothing happens. He comes out of his jacket and runs back. So now they jump in another line way down there. They can't go in another building. So we're all grouped up, and we're waiting for them to come back so we can do what we have to do. I got that little knife, but it's not going to do anything. I mean, it'll probably break as soon as I hit somebody with it. At this time, everybody's amped up, and the police see commotion. They tell everyone to get down. Everyone gets down on the ground. When they get down on the ground, the cops come over there and right immediately stand over me and the guys that I'm standing with, and I mean sitting with, and they start picking us up and checking our knuckles for any marks to see if we got in a fight. Of course, we don't have no marks on our hands, no red marks. They put us back down. They make us look in our mouth for cuts, and they look on our face. They pull our shirts up, look on our backs for marks. People have marks from playing basketball, red marks stuff. They're not tripping on that. Well, they get to the next line, and a Northerner has a red mark on his right hand, and he's like, "That's my birthmark. That's my birthmark." I don't know if it was or it wasn't. They cuff him up. They take him. The Northerners are kind of tripping because the Oak Park cast didn't tell them what they was going to do. It was I don't know why they didn't. They should have notified other factions that they was going to try to stab someone. They didn't. So they was upset, and they had reason to be, because this happened with a whole bunch of factions around, and they didn't know what was going on. So they would have been prepared, and they would have got their people away from the area. They didn't. So it could have been a deterrent as far as they is concerned, that we was faking a stabbing black on black so we could take off on them. They didn't know anything, so they was kind of upset. So what happens is we all go back to the buildings. We all get back to our buildings. I'm a worker, like I told you in the first video. I'm a worker, but I'm a worker on second watch. That means from when the second watch police get there, 6 in the morning, 5 in the morning, until they leave 2:30, 3 o'clock. Then third watch comes on and they pull their workers out. So this is y'all recall, it's about 2 o'clock. I only have like 30, 45 minutes until they lock me up. And then They lock us up for count time, chow, and they let their third watch workers out. So during this time, my homie from my neighborhood, the one that got in the fight, the dude tried to stab, he's on the other side of the tier from me on the second tier. I'm on this side, bottom tier. No, matter of fact, I'm on the second tier. He's on the second tier, but he's on the other side from me. So I go to my cell and I take my knife out. I put it in a manila envelope, and when I put it in a manila envelope, I write a kite, and I tell him basically when you go to work, because he works in the chow and they come through, you got to blast this dude that pulled the knife out on you. So I go up to his cell, slide the envelope under there. I don't talk to him. I tell him, this is for you, check it out. And I go back to my cell. I'm in the cell and I'm talking to my cellie, and we're discussing the incident. And we both agree it's going to go up with the Bloods and the Crips over this incident. And of course, third watch gets there. They let the third watch workers out. And I'm sitting on my bed reading a book, laying down reading a book. And I get a tap at the door, and it's a black cat from Oakland. He's like, "Dog, I have something for you." And he slides me an envelope under the door, and it's the knife I sent my homie. And there's a kite inside. So I open it up. I open the kite up. And actually, I want to tell you something. This was in 2010, summertime, I believe. And this is 2022. I kept this kite. My homeboy wrote to me. I'm not going to read it on here, but I kept it all these years throughout my prison stay, and I brought it home with me because I knew one day this story would get out to the homies on the street, and homies in the prison system heard about it, and I wanted this kite as evidence in case there was any lies told. And I have the kite. So I have talked to my homie. Matter of fact, last year he got out from another violation and he moved out of state. I don't want to say what state because a lot of people know who he is. I don't want to put him out there like that. But anyway, so he basically said, I'm going to handle it when dude comes through. I don't want to use this. So he's telling me he's going to use his hands. Now, once weaponry is brandished in prison, even on the street, I think, you are to retaliate with weaponry. That's what their intentions are. It's just it's set in stone in prison, but it's nothing people talk about. But if you get a weapon pulled on you, if you get stabbed, you must retaliate with the same capacity as how they came. And Northern Crips are known for weaponry. We have certain guidelines and stuff. And I understood he was trying to get home to his kid that was took by CPS, and I had all this time. So I decided right there, I'm gonna let my homie go home, and I'm gonna take care of this situation myself. I had nothing to lose. I would have got probably sent to the hole. I was already going to level 4 180. I knew that because of how much time I had. I haven't seen my counselor yet, but I was almost sure I was going back to a level 4. My pro from level 4, and so at that time I decided that I was going to take care of this situation. And my homie went down. I watched him come out of the cell when they released him to go to work, and he gave me a thumbs up, like, "I'll see you later. I'm going to handle dude when he comes through the line to get his tray." And so I'm anxious now. I got my 9-inch thing back. My celly got his. We're sending kites down to other homies that's in there. Now, mind you, I told you I'm in a building where Crips were very shallow. It was more Bloods in my building than Crips. But They also had the head, their shot caller over there in West Hall, where Crips, my homies, were the deepest. So my homies had a hostage, you could say, over in their building. If something happened to me or my cellie, something was going to happen to them. And we knew this, and we used that as leverage. So by them doing that, I could have had their homie whacked over there, but I was real close to him, as close as you could be with the adversary. I called him nephew. I was in a couple prisons with him. I kicked it with him on the street, and he was a rider, but he was a cool ass dude, man. I love this dude, but he was from Oak Park, and he's much younger than me, but I liked him. So I didn't want to escalate this into a full-fledged Crip blood war because I know it would leak over to other prisons. This is the reception center. So this is like the breeding ground of, you got new cats going to different main lines. So when you're in an incident on a reception center line and you go to a main line, you're going to have some kind of animosity towards that group you got into it with on the reception center side. And I knew that. I've been around a long time. I've been around going to prison since '89, and this is 2010. So I had to play my cards right. And my objective at this time was to get dude to pull the knife out and get dude to send him. That was it. 2 dudes I was going to blast, and that was what it was going to be. But I know when the one cat that pulled the knife off comes to the chow hall, my homie's going to take flight on him, and they're probably going to go to the cages. They're probably going to send him back. My homie's probably going to get fired from his job. But I didn't care about that. If they did go to the hole, if it got into something bigger than that, the dude that sent him was still going to be here, and I could get him. I wanted him anyway. So it was the other side of the building's turn to go to chow first. Every day they switch. Our side, their side goes first to chow. So as I was standing in my window when they started releasing 3rd tier, 2nd tier, 1st tier, the cat that pulled the knife out on my homie and tried to poke him was on the 2nd or 3rd tier. The guy that sent him was on the 1st tier at the very last cell. So I'm watching as they release 3rd tier. I don't see the cat come out for chow, then try to poke my homie. I'm getting a little concerned. So when they let the 2nd tier out, I see the cat that I caught the case with. He was my co-defendant from Oak Park back in I think it was '93. We caught a case together, me, him, and my bro. I'll get into that later. That's a crazy case there. And then they let the 1st tier out, and I don't see the cat that sent him come out either. And so what happens is I don't hear no alarms in the chow hall. And when I don't hear no alarms, now I'm very concerned. So when they release us to chow, I go through the line. I tell my homie from the back of the line, come out here and talk to me. So he comes out there, sits at the table with me, and tells me, hey, them cats are gone. They rolled it up. They rolled it up. What do you mean they rolled it up? They're gone. They left during count time. They told the police they couldn't be there no more. They rolled up and they went to F Hall, F Wing. So F Wing, anyone knows it's been to Tracy, is the Southsider wing. Southsiders are secluded from everybody on the reception center side because they the Northerners attack them or they attack the Northerners. So they move by themselves. They don't go to yard with us. They don't go to chow with us. They don't go to the infirmary with us. We won't see them. So these 2 cats went to F Wing knowing they ain't going to see us no What I felt at that time was anger. Um, I felt like they did a bitch move, um, and I really felt that I should do something. I didn't want to put nobody else in a predicament where they caught more time. That'd be selfish. Um, so I discussed this with a couple people, um, and uh, what happened was I had took it upon myself to see prison politics is like this. It's not always it's on with another faction in prison. I could talk to Southsiders, I could talk to white guys, white boys, I could talk to wood skinheads, I could talk to Northerners, I could talk to Bloods, and we joke around. And but when it's on, it's on. And then you can go back to being friendly or whatever, kick it with play basketball with the Bloods or whatever. But I felt that they got over on us. I felt that they pulled something and then ultimately took the bitch way out. Now, if one of my homies would have did that to them and then rolled it up, he would be deemed no good forever. He would be a piece of shit. Go to PC. I don't know how these guys work. These dudes went to the main line, a different main. I don't know where they went, but I heard later on down the line that they was walking around on the main line, and it was known these cats rolled it up. There was a lot of park cats there, and they didn't deem these dudes no good. They never went to SNY. So a lot of factions work differently in prison. Specifically, blacks don't have, besides the Jama cast, the BGF, they don't have as many strict rules as Northerners, Southerners, and white guys. I'm going to be real with you guys. They just don't. It's a known fact. There is known people from different black factions that have told on people, and they won't roll it up. They won't go to SNY. They get beat up. They get stabbed. But some of them just won't go. They won't tell the police, look, I'm going to SNY. They're hard-headed. I know two of them, both from Sacramento Crips, and they wouldn't roll it up. One of them is still on the main line right now, and he told on a murder case. He's been stabbed multiple times, jumped on multiple times. He's in Solid Ass Central right now on the main line, and he told on a murder beef. I'm going to try to interview my homeboy that he told on, because he's out now. He just did a long sentence and he's out now. Thank God he came home. But I'm gonna try to interview him in the up and coming weeks. So I ended up staying there for 8 months. It's the stay is usually 2 to 4 months. I ended up staying there 8 months, and nothing ever happened with us and the Bloods as far as any violence. But I had 2 incidences there now at this time. I had this incident with my homie, and I had a bigger incident with the Northerners. And I felt real animosity. I felt real betrayed by my homie not telling me, by coming back, telling me it's squashed, and then they did that. And the reason why I told you, because the black dude from Oakland killed the Northerners' brother, and that's why they did it. But this is how you don't always use violence to get back at somebody. You can use this. You can use your head, and that's what I did. A Northern cat came in from Merced, and anybody knows, I don't want to really speak on active Northerners politics, but it's a known fact that anytime someone from their group segment comes in from the streets or the county jail and they have contraband, that they have to turn it over to the house, and the house gets their percentage out of it, and then they give them back what they want to give back, and then they could do what they want with it. And I knew this. I told you my whole family's Northerners, so I knew things that other people from factions didn't know. And my understanding was, if someone came in with say an ounce of weed, they have to turn it in to the house, and the house gets a third of it, and then they give it back to them after it's been cleared, and then they can do what they want with it. This Northerner, I was with the place at another penitentiary with, came in from Merced, and they sent him to a single cell. He didn't have a cellie. And when I was out working one day, he called me to the door, and he's like, "Dog," he's like, "I have something, but I don't want my homies to know because they're gonna take half." He told me half. It's like, "What do you have?" He said, "An ounce of crystal." He's like, "If I give it to you, you got to keep it quiet and just sell it and give me half, and you keep half. I'd rather do it like that than give it to my homies because they might take more than half." I'm like, "Bet, shit, kick it in." And that happened more than once while I was there. Like I said, I was out there running. People would come in, whites, blacks, Mexicans, different people come in with tobacco, a cell phone, and they would need me to pass it and do that. And of course, I get mine for doing it, for helping them out. So this dude gave me this, and I knew that was a call. If it was found out he did that, gave it to me, they would either whack him or DP him or something. There would be repercussions, trust me. So I had a conversation with the Northerner that I knew, and I was asking him questions about, how they work. And of course, he told me what I already knew, that they took half, a third or whatever, and that's just what it was. And so I went to my cell, and I got a chapstick cap of the crystal he gave me, and I took it down there. I said, "Hey, your homie came in and he gave me this, and here, you could have it. I don't use it or nothing." So I gave it to the Northern dude. I knew by me doing that, they was gonna whack that dude up there. And was it righteous of me to do that? No, it wasn't righteous, but I knew I came up on almost a zip of crystal, and I got back at the Northerners for taking off on the blacks. Money wise, I used this, and ultimately they got him up out of there. They thanked me for giving them that little shit. That was a lot of shit. A chapstick cap, they probably made $300-400 off of that, maybe even $500 off of that on the reception center side, and I had a gang of it. So I just wanted to tell you a little bit about my beginning of my sentence, and I'm gonna go through this from when I left here. I went to Corcoran. From Corcoran, I went to Solano. From Solano, I went to 10 different prisons in 9 years, 8 months, 22 days sentence. I mean, my stay in prison. That's how long I just did. But I'm gonna take you through every prison and show you how every prison is different. All the politics are different in every prison, and you guys can see for yourself. But if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, that notification button, if you want to be notified when I come on the air again. And you guys have a blessed day. And what about these Warriors, though? What about these Warriors? It's 2-2 now. It's 2-2. The Warriors are going to take another championship. I know there's a lot of haters out there, Lakers fans. I know there's a lot of Lakers fans, and there's Celtics fans. But I've been a Warrior fan for years now. For years, I didn't get on the bandwagon when they started winning championships. I've been on Warriors team. I'm not a Sacramento Kings fan, even though I'm from Sacramento. I've been a Warriors fan since I was about 13 years old. Sprewell, when Sprewell punched his coach. So how many years ago was that? Go ahead and like and subscribe the Prison Yard TV, and leave a comment and share.